This is Top Preps Recruiting Exposure Package Interviews by Sunil, Sunder. Today, I'm happy to be speaking with Ethan Brooks, a junior at Wheaton Academy High School in West Chicago, Illinois, a running back, fullback, and defensive end on the varsity football team. Once again, Ethan, great to be speaking with you. Congrats on your success playing football this season
Thank you.
for Wheaton Academy.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's been awesome. Awesome season. Thank you for interviewing me.
Yeah, no problem. But a dynamic season for you, Ethan, on both offensively and defensively, all conference defense, 45 total tackles, 11 tackles for loss, 22 hurries on offense. I think 265 yards, 22 carries, actually 154 rushing yards, 111 receiving yards, five receptions, four touchdowns. Uh, just in terms of your diversity, just in being able to play four to five positions. Uh, just if you could describe what this season meant to you, the fact that you were able to contribute in multiple ways and facets here.
Yeah, this season was definitely a stepping point in my career. I was able to play multiple positions and I was able to lead the team for multiple aspects in different ways.
Hmm.
And it was awesome being a leader for the younger kids and showing them that, you shouldn't stay to one position in particular. It's good to
Yeah.
play multiple positions along with just on both offense and defense, not just, oh, I only want to be a running back, I only want to be this or that. Whether it's
Hmm.
defense or offense, playing both positions is great as an athlete. And, I go to a relatively smaller school as well. So it is required that we play both sides of the ball. But being able to be one of the guys that can step up when the coaches need it during a game and, someone gets injured or someone has, an injury or something happens to them and they can't play, but a coach needs someone to step up. And it's
Hmm.
awesome to be that guy that can step up and, be like, coach, I can play that position. And
Yeah.
for them to be able to trust me in that position and know that I'll go out there, I'll perform, and I'll be there when they need it in hard times.
Yeah. I mean, just leading by example,
Yeah, exactly.
displaying that leadership. As you said, I mean, really showing the underclassmen, uh, just what it takes in terms of, the grind and just being able to
Yeah.
perform at the highest level. And look, I know one of the games that you probably remember the most is, I think it was against Aurora Christian,
Yeah.
it was a
Mhm.
loss, 28-27, rushed for
Mhm.
105 yards, two scores. I mean, that had to, again, be so, satisfying,
Yeah.
Ethan, the fact that you were able to, tally those numbers.
Yeah. So the game before our running back actually got injured, or two games
Okay.
before our running back got injured, and they
Okay.
had another player. He was our former tight end, and he moved to running back. They moved me to tight end. We did that for a game, but then towards the end of the game, they actually moved me to running back and him back to tight end for
Okay.
a series of plays. And they actually liked me more at running back. And it was
Hmm.
awesome, because I was able to play both positions in that game. And then the next game, I was able to step up and be the running back for us in that game. Although we did lose by one, it was so
Yeah.
awesome to go out there and perform. And that my coach even said he was able to trust me during that game, and that felt
Yeah.
great. That I could be the person that my coach could rely on when we needed someone to step up.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that you were able to shift to another position
Hmm.
and just such a fluid manner. I mean, there was no drop off, and the fact that you were able to excel in that capacity.
Thank
Hey,
you.
through 9 games, you were dominating. I mean, the fact that registered 45 tackles, 12 solo, 33 assisted, 11 tackles for loss, two and a half sacks, 22 hurries, and two blocked PATs. So again, across the board, Ethan, you were just uh, just cranking it out. I mean, the fact that just being able to affect the game in so many ways. So talk about that. I mean, again, the numbers reflect just the effort. Said that you displayed on the field.
Yeah, so not only did I play defensive end, I was a starting right defensive end, and I also played multiple positions on offense. I played
Hmm.
almost every special teams. So I rarely came off the field, but it was
Yeah.
great to come and also show the underclassmen and even show my teammates that effort does go a long way. Blocking
Yep.
two PATs. It was awesome also to just show my coaches, even when I'm tired, even when I'm exhausted, I can still push and I'm still willing to, give
Yep.
my 100%, give 110% each snap of the game, and that they can trust me, whether it's special teams, which a lot of people don't take seriously enough.
Yep.
And it's a lot for underclassmen, it's a place to get on the field and to be able to
Hmm.
show them that even when someone who might be playing both sides of the ball is still trying their hardest and giving 100% on special teams, that it does matter and it shows
Yep.
them that it should matter for them as well. And that's an area that they can get on the field quickest as well.
Yeah, I did. There's no, I mean, where you can make a game-changing, play, have that
Exactly. Yep.
impact. It just, again, it shows your commitment and dedication, really demonstrates that the fact that you're prepared for that, moment and, showing those attributes. I said, I go back to being named All Conference, just to be rewarded, recognized, uh, for what you did on the field, what you accomplished. I mean, how meaningful was that to you, Ethan?
It was amazing. I was so glad and happy that, my hard work from the off season and playing multiple sports, that all that hard work paid off and that I was able to be recognized in front of my peers and
Mhm.
also just get that award to just be an all conference player and just show that, hard work does pay off. Even,
Yeah.
working behind the scenes when other people don't see I'm in the gym multiple times a
Hmm.
week, 2 times a day. People may not see that, but the results speak for themselves. And it was awesome to be named all conference as well. During our banquet at the end of the season, I got this award. It was called the Hammer Award, and
Okay.
that is handed out to people who or just a person that season that stood out in practice, gave their all in
Hmm.
practice. And it's meant to be hammering away toward in practice, every
Yeah.
snap, whether it's in the game or in practice, just showing 100%
Hmm.
effort and getting better in practice, along with if I give 100%, then the guy next to me will get better. It's not
Yeah.
just me getting better, I make the people around me better in practice. And so I was able to get recognized for that as well. And I was just happy that, in practice, it wasn't wasted. All those hard nights. I may have a long day at school, but still
Yeah.
coming in to hammer away in practice and get myself and others better. So it was awesome to be recognized for both that and just the season itself and all conference.
Yeah, it's magnificent to hear. And you played for, a tremendous coach in head coach
Oh
Jim
yeah.
Johannick.
Mhm.
I just wanted to ask you what he meant to you, just in terms of your development, your progression here, proving your fundamentals and skills, as well as the rest of the coaching staff too here, Ethan.
Yeah, so our coaching staff is great. I mean, in my opinion, we have the best coaching staff in Illinois.
Yeah.
All of our coaches give 100%. They set the example and they start the bar high, and they don't let
Hmm.
it drop for anyone. Everyone has to meet their expectations. And Coach Johannick being the head coach, I had some family stuff going on towards the beginning of the season, and I came to
Hmm.
him, and our theme for this season was carry the cross, and I told my coach, I was like, I have to carry the cross now. I'm struggling outside of the classroom, outside of the field.
Hmm.
And I told him I have to carry the cross. And I came in and I had a meeting with him, and my brother was there, and he was just there when I needed him most.
Yeah.
Even he was there, off the field. So I knew when Friday night came and we were, down by one against ACS, I knew the decisions he made were for my best interest. And I knew that he was there for me and that I could trust him when I was on the field and I could trust him
Hmm.
off the field. And he was such a role model for me in my life. He's also a pastor, and he just poured into me in my faith and just showing
Yeah.
me that, even in the hard times, God's got a plan. And he was just an amazing man. Along with him, the coach Swider, we have two Swiders, and both of them just their game plans are just amazing. They spend their whole weekend and they give us their all. Coach
Hmm.
Swider says that he's turned down money before to be paid to give speeches to groups of people because he'd rather be at practice with us, and he's showing us his commitment, and it's just such
Yeah.
a role model. Because if there's kids who might skip practice for some appointment that they might have, but if our coach isn't skipping practice for something even more important than that, then why should
Yeah.
I skip practice? Why should I not
Yeah.
be there? Because he's there, he's giving all, and he's making sacrifices. So it just sets the role. He's such a role model, and he's setting the example and the bar high. Like I should not be missing practice. already, but he even just exemplifies that, and
Yeah.
he's showing me, I need to make sacrifices and to be there for him and for my teammates. And along with just the rest of the coaching staff, it's just all great guys. I mean, they
Yeah.
all give 100%. They all pour into us each, both on the field and off the field. I have my defensive end coach. I see him all the time, and then he had a meeting with me and two other, or not a meeting, a dinner, I would say, with me and two of the other defensive linemen that he
Mhm.
thought were leaders, and he said he wanted to pour into us, and he wanted to just let us know that he's proud of us and to keep being leaders for everyone else on the field, whether they're older than us, younger than us. And he now we meet once a month, every month. We meet and we have dinner together, or we'll have lunch together, and we just talk about life. And that's
Yeah.
so special to me. It's something I'll never forget, that he's pouring into me off the field. And it's not just like showing up to practice and then we forget about each other afterwards.
Yeah.
He's there for me. He's helping me both in my faith, on the field, off the field, academics, and
Yeah.
he's he's older. So he has so much wisdom to pour into me, and it's just amazing. So I
Yeah.
love my coaching staff, and I'm just very grateful for all that they have done for me and for my teammates.
Yeah, it's fabulous to hear. I mean, just the life lessons, the values that, the coaches pass down.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
that's something, you cherish, forever. The
Yeah.
fact that you build those connections, they become like family,
Mhm.
again, as you said, role models, father figures, mentors,
Yeah.
uh, that are so beneficial that will again carry,
Mhm.
well beyond the playing field, high school, into college, the real world and life in general. So that's again
Exactly.
beautiful to
Yeah.
hear. Uh, as you know that football has become 24/7, 365 in terms of the training for a season.
Mhm.
There's never a day off, and you certainly have not taken a day off here.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Ethan, can you talk about 6 foot, 215 pounds in terms of the strength and conditioning, the nutrition, the rest and recovery? I mean, really
Mhm.
working on those X's and O's, watching film,
Mhm.
really preparing, said, I mean, there's quite a bit of course, practices, the weight room, that all those intangibles that really as a collective, whole that, takes or requires for you,
Yeah.
again, to be at the best.
Yeah, so the off season starts the day after you lose. The day after your season ends, the off season
Yeah.
starts, and
Yeah.
you can't just take 2 weeks off like most people do. You can't just take time off and lose wasted reps and lose time of
Yeah.
getting better. So I immediately get back to the work. I get back to the grind, and I start lifting immediately, getting better.
Hmm.
Both new lifting twice a day. I lift at school. We have football lifts Monday,
Okay.
Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. We all lift as a group because lifting together is so important. Just builds
Yeah.
camaraderie, and just
Hmm.
like I when you lift together, it's just so different. It's such a different culture. It's
Yeah.
amazing. And then I go and I lift with one of my teammates, Logan Oros. I lift with him like out of school hours, outside of these lifts that we have with our coaches. We go
Hmm.
to acceleration, and we get better, we get faster, and we push each other, and we get 1% better
Yeah.
every day, and we hold each other accountable. And then on top of that, we share with each other what we're doing with our nutrition, with just meal prepping, because our school during lunch will provide meals for kids,
Okay.
but it's not healthy. It's really unhealthy food, and it's just stuff that shouldn't be fueling your body as an athlete. So
Hmm.
we meal prep for those lunches, and then we eat healthy breakfasts, eggs, grass-fed ground beef, whatever it may be, rice, and at night we eat healthy dinners to fuel our bodies after, 2 workouts, and we
Yeah.
just continue to work hard every day off the season, and putting good food into our bodies is just so important.
Yeah.
And we both play a second sport. He does track, and I do lacrosse, and just
Hmm.
having people around you as well that have the same type of grind, the same mindset that you have, that are doing
Yeah.
the same things, is so important, so that you don't fall off, and you have someone to hold you accountable. So we
Yeah.
continue to just push each other in the off season, and then when we get on the field, I'm willing, he's someone that I'm willing to put my body on the line. I'm willing to die for when I'm on the field. versus
Hmm.
someone, when you're not lifting together and you're not spending time together out in the off season and grinding together and putting in work. It's just the culture is just so different. And
Yeah.
when Friday night comes, it's so important that you're close with your teammates and that you have that type of camaraderie. And then, playing I played two sports outside of football, wrestling and lacrosse.
Yeah.
Having to lift and do wrestling season, it's a different type of grind.
Yeah.
It's really worth it though. It pays off. The numbers speak for themselves. But
Hmm.
wrestling helps a lot. The conditioning, just mentally,
Yeah.
having to push yourself so hard. And just it's really a different sport. It's not like any other sport. Wrestling is a different type of grind, but it's definitely necessary. I would say almost every football player should be playing it
Yeah.
at some point in their life. It helps a lot, especially on the defensive line,
Hmm.
with the hand movements and the hand fighting.
Yeah.
I saw that especially this last season that I had much, much better hands after wrestling and my
Yeah.
hand fighting just got way better. And then lacrosse, we're our lacrosse team we got third in state last year. 2 years ago, we
Hmm.
won state. We have a really great coach. He pushes us and he pushes us hard. We never take a day off in that season. Our life revolves around lacrosse, but training for both lacrosse and football it's awesome. It's a grind that I love and I
Hmm.
really enjoy doing it. And then, I play after the season. Last season we won third in state on a
Hmm.
Saturday, and that Monday I left for New Jersey, and I was on the East Coast for pretty much the entirety of that next month, doing all lacrosse camps and lacrosse combines. And then I entered football season. And I could just tell, that grind paid off. That hard work, those long nights,
Yeah.
early mornings, they paid off. And just fueling my body with nutrition alongside of that, I was a different person this year than I was, a year ago or 2 years ago. So
Yeah.
the grind doesn't stop, but it's worth it.
Yeah. I
Definitely.
mean, obviously staying in optimal shape. I mean, that's the thing you want to do. You don't want, again, to veer off the track and the fact
Yeah,
that
exactly.
because eye hand foot coordination, again, is so essential
Yeah.
when you're out there in the trenches. I mean,
Yeah.
again, it plays such a crucial factor in
Hmm.
having success. And if you're not, meeting that benchmark can, really be a pitfall. But again, you've been able to, rise to the occasion. But again, that must be very fulfilling for you as well, Ethan.
Oh, definitely. When the work pays off, it's all worth it. All those times that I missed out with friends, it was all worth it.
Yeah.
When I'm spending more time in the gym than I am doing anything
Hmm.
else, it's all worth it. And I'm on the
Yeah.
field.
Yeah.
And when you enjoy the grind, it's so worth it when
Yeah.
you get those awards. And more so
Definitely.
when you win on Friday night, it's just like that feeling when you go home. It's
Hmm.
just so worth it. All that
Yeah.
time spent in the off season.
Yeah, no, definitely. Hey, can you talk about putting that number seven Wheaton Academy Warriors, football helmet, jersey, uniform every time you take the field here, Ethan? Friday night lights, Saturday afternoons during the fall, nothing better than that environment.
Definitely. So I want to start with my number 7 is the number of
Okay.
perfection in the Bible. So that's why I chose that number, and I take a lot of pride in that. Take a lot
Hmm.
of pride. I take even more pride in my team, in my teammates, in my coaches.
Hmm.
When I'm on the field and my teammate scores a touchdown, I'm more happy for them than I am when I score a touchdown because
Yeah.
I take so much pride in my coaches and in that coaching staff and putting on that helmet, putting on that jersey on Friday night and in the fall in the summer, take so much pride in just being able to be out there with the guys and get better
Hmm.
together because I wouldn't rather do it with anyone else. I love the guys that I'm doing it with. I love my coaches and I walk out there and I have a smile on my face and I want to be there, so it's
Hmm.
really awesome that I'm or surrounded by such a great culture and such great people. I would die for my coaches. Like I love them that much and I know they would do the same for me and they have shown it in their actions and in the commitment that they have shown to me and I
Hmm.
wouldn't want anything else.
Yeah, it's great to hear. Look, it's just not about being an athlete; it's being a student athlete,
Hmm.
and it turns a time management organization trying to balance out that role effectively. And you've been just Again, marvelous. I mean, currently maintaining an unweighted GPA of 3.85, weighted GPA of 4.08, advanced classes in calculus AB, college algebra, advanced physics, advanced chemistry, advanced French 2, and advanced French 3. In addition, you're in three AP level courses, which include AP microeconomics, AP macroeconomics, and AP US history. You're also a National Honor Society member and have participated in the business club and French club. I know your goal is to major in business, economics, or finance. Again, just displaying that acumen, being so astute, and just cognizant of where you want to go in life. You know, education being so important to you.
Yeah.
Talk about again the fact that you've been able to, those are no easy classes, not a walk in the park,
Yeah.
but again, you've been able to, put in that time, said in the classroom, is that hitting the books, it's not easy, you said, with practices, with lips,
Yeah.
game, action. Talk about that, Ethan.
Yeah, so ever since I was young, my mom always made sure I had good grades and she held me accountable. And when I
Mm-hmm.
entered middle school, I kind of took it upon myself and I
Yep.
did my homework without having to be asked. And I studied for my tests and I made sure I had good grades, not because my
Yep.
mom wanted me to, because I wanted
Mm-hmm.
good grades. And I knew it would all pay off. And having good grades in sixth, seventh, and eighth grade carried over into my
Mm-hmm.
freshman year of high school, being able to have a good GPA and start myself really well. And I know a lot of people come in freshman year and they don't realize how important grades are, but grades can
Yep.
really make or break recruiting. And I've realized how important they are, and I continue to just study as hard as I can and do as well as I can in the classes,
Yeah.
and not take easy classes because it's easy when you come home from a long day and a hard practice and you get to sit around and you don't have any homework to do. But when you have homework, it's a different
Yeah.
type of grind. And you're taking advanced classes and taking college level classes, and it's not easy, but it'll be worth it. And it's like winning
Mm-hmm.
on Friday night, when
Yeah.
I get that A in the class at the end of the semester. It's all those long nights, those hours of studying, it's all worth it. And
Mm-hmm.
I know that it'll set myself up for the future, and education is so important no matter
Mm-hmm.
where you go in life. It's really important to take away what school teaches you and apply it in the future, and apply it both inside the classroom, outside the classroom. And I've seen it help me as well. I take study methods, and it helps me when I'm watching film and I'm studying
Mm-hmm.
the game plan, and it helps me memorize plays and just be able to work under pressure. When you
Yeah.
have a final coming up and it's worth 20% of your grade and you have to study super hard, and then you come to the final and you're nervous and you take that final, and it just shows that you can perform under pressure. And
Mm-hmm.
that applies straight to the field, being able to perform on Friday night when it's a hard game, it's a close game, and you need to know multiple assignments, especially when you play multiple positions, and you need to know what you're doing
Mm-hmm.
with special teams. And on top of that, you have like young underclassmen looking up to you, and you have to be the leader for them. And it's
Yeah.
it all comes together, and it's all worth it at the
Yeah.
end of the day.
Yeah. You're tested. You're pushed to the max, and the fact that you need to, as I said, display those traits and
Mhm.
characteristics, which you've been able to do so well up. Look, you also volunteer your time at Feed My Starving Children multiple times, going out with your church to feed the homeless. Last year, you traveled to Hawaii with your wrestling team on a mission trip to aid the locals and spread the gospel.
Yep.
Uh, the fact that you're paying it forward, giving back to your community as well. How gratifying is that as well here, Ethan?
Yeah, so helping others, just it makes me feel so good. The Bible talks directly about that, and that's what Jesus did. And
Hmm.
I want to do that as well. And I want to live my life like Jesus did, and I want to exemplify his love, and I want his light to shine through me. And
Hmm.
I love helping others because it also opens up opportunities for me to spread the
Yeah.
gospel and for them to be pointed towards Christ, whether they know about him or not. And
Hmm.
traveling to Hawaii last year was just such an experience. Our
Yeah.
our coach for wrestling had a connection to someone on Molokai, which
Okay.
typically you can't go to that island without having a connection, or or some other way. You can't, it's not like a place you just go for vacation, you know. You would go
Mm-hmm.
to the main islands for there. So we went over to Molokai. Such an experience, you know, seeing how other people live in this world and just how making myself grateful. You know, I was just so grateful because like I am so blessed with so many things, like this roof over my head and this time with
Mm-hmm.
you. And you know,
Yep.
so many people don't have that. And I saw
Yep.
that in Molokai. And so it was great to help out the farmers and build fences and help them
Mm-hmm.
out and just, you know, get to know more about their culture. You know,
Yep.
we actually had a great experience. Someone offered to this is a little disgusting, but they killed
Okay.
a pig and got it in
Oh
front of
boy.
us and then they
Okay.
cooked it and they shared their food with us and
Yeah.
that was just amazing, you know.
Yeah.
It's just such an experience, and then being able to help them and spread
Mm-hmm.
the gospel to them, and also just also get better. And we got to wrestle their local team there in Molokai, and
Okay.
just being able to see, you know, some of those athletes in Hawaii, some hidden
Yeah.
gems there, and it
Yes.
was awesome wrestling them, and it's just everyone was so friendly, and it was awesome to give
Mm-hmm.
back to the community.
Yeah, I mean, you get to meet people from different cultures and backgrounds, and just really puts life into perspective. The fact that you can contribute to, society. So that's
Yeah,
again wonderful
totally.
to hear. Hey, I just wanted to pivot back to Wheaton Academy High School, just in terms of the support from the student body, administration, athletic department as well.
Yeah, so our administration comes out to every football game, and they're there to be with us in the wins and losses, and it's awesome that you know they're supporting us and they're being there for us. And on Wednesdays we have this thing called community time where we all
Hmm.
go, we gather together, and they have school updates and that type of thing. But they also shout us out as a
Hmm.
football program, and they um they cheer for us when we win during that time, and it's just and then on Friday night when students show up and they're there and
Yeah,
they're there for when we win, they're there for when we lose, they're there when we score touchdowns. It's amazing, and it's nice to have that community that's just there for us and there when we need them, when we need them most, whether we're at home or even when we travel away. When students show up and we're at a game that's, you know, an hour plus
yeah,
away, it's such a special feeling just knowing that they care
yeah,
enough to take time out of their Friday night to watch us play and to be there for us. So
yeah.
it's really special.
Yeah, just feeding off that energy, enthusiasm. I
Yeah.
think that's something that it is, you just rely on so heavily. I know family support is equally, again, important to you. Been meaningful. Just your parents, three brothers. You have two older brothers, one younger. I know faith is an essential part of your family in a Christian, growing up in a Christian household. Can you talk about, just again receiving that backbone support from your family throughout your, athletic and academic career?
Yeah, my family's amazing. Like I've always had them to rely on when I'm struggling or when I have doubts about my sport or you know
Hmm.
after a loss, I can rely on them to be there for me and to point me back to God and to just encourage me and just show me a different perspective from someone
Hmm.
from an outside source. They're just really the backbone of everything that I do. And my mom is just, you know, being able to pay and supply for all of my travels, being able to supply for multiple sports, for being able to provide for an interview like this or
Hmm.
provide for travel to the East Coast for lacrosse and get me into these opportunities that so many kids don't have and just being
Yeah,
able to have the resources. You know, I thank God every day. It's just it's amazing that He has blessed us, but in that my mom is and my dad are just using these resources for my benefit because they love me that much. And I've never
yeah,
had a doubt in my mind that they don't love me and that they don't want the best for me. And they uh they support me in everything I do, whether it's I you know this year I actually didn't wrestle this year and they supported me through that and they
hmm,
instead of you know telling me you know it's okay you can just sit around and do whatever you want, they push me and they encourage me to go to acceleration and to continue working out and to continue pushing myself. So even when I'm struggling and when I'm having doubts, they're there for me and they're there to hold me accountable and not let me fall through the cracks and not let me waste away all of this opportunity and even providing for me to go to such an amazing school at Wheaton Academy, to
hmm.
have such an amazing culture. It's really comes back to them and Jesus. And it's just without them, it's none of this would have been possible. I wouldn't be the person I am today. I wouldn't be where I am today. both athletically, academically, just who I am as a person. And then my
Mhm.
brothers, one of my older brothers tells me constantly, he's like, I want to see you in the NFL someday.
Mhm.
He's being delusional with me. Like he's telling me, I want you to be at the very top, whether he truly thinks it or not. He's making me think, I have someone there who thinks that I can be the very best. And that's
Yeah.
amazing when they come to games. I have family who aren't like close family or like first line family who
Mhm.
come out to games, and it's like that's just so amazing.
Yeah.
There's game I remember one game, my aunt and my uncle, they came out to a game, but I didn't know ahead of time. And after it, when I saw them, I just smiled and I was just so happy
Yeah.
to see them. And it's amazing having a support group behind me and to just help me through the highs and the lows.
Yeah, that's spectacular to hear. I mean, I said again, alluded to before, not everybody has those people in place, those special people to really
Yeah,
guide you through again the ups and downs.
be
Hey,
blessed. Yeah.
I know you've been playing football for a long time. I'm just wondering, when it comes to sport, obviously you have the drive, passion, and purpose for it, and a true student of the game. But what are some of the intangibles that stand out, either and whether on and off the field, that just make it so worthwhile for you to come back year after year?
Yeah, so the culture in football, it's not like anything else. Wrestling
Mm,
isn't in itself. Lacrosse is a different culture, but
hmm.
football, there's something special about going to war, as my coach would say, on Friday night
Yeah.
and fighting with your teammates for X amount of hours, and then after it, spending time together, and then
Hmm.
waking up early on Saturday mornings for film, and
Yeah.
spending a good chunk of our summer together, and grinding when it's hot out, and maybe it's an
Mm,
early morning, and maybe someone doesn't want to be there, but I want to be there, and that makes them want to be there. And
hmm.
it's amazing that we can pull each other up like that, and that
Yeah.
it's such an amazing culture, and it keeps me coming back each and every year. And I wouldn't change it for the world. I think it's the best sport that ever has been created. I think football is it's something special, and just being there with your teammates, when you have a relationship with them, then on
Yeah.
Friday night you can get on them when they fall short, you know, you can get on them and you can tell them, I need more from you. I am expecting more. I know you have more in you. And you
Hmm.
tell them that. And then when they go and do it, it's such a joy when they
Yeah.
respond to your correction. And you have a relationship like that. And it's a different type of friendship and relationship. It's kids that I'll
Yeah.
never forget, and I'll
Yeah.
carry over into the rest of my life for sure.
Yeah, especially, and it's a true brotherhood. It's these
Yeah,
guys. I
totally.
mean, that's the thing. As you said, you're going to war. I mean, the fact that into battle, and it's these guys you see at school, on the field, off the field. I mean, so you see them probably sometimes more than your family. So I just sort of,
Definitely.
yeah. It's I mean, and then carry these relationships, and connections, for years to come, maybe for the rest of your life, which is, again, just fantastic. Hey, we're doing this Top Prods Recruiting Exposure Package interview with you. Obviously, social media plays, uh, just again, a crucial role in getting your name out there.
Totally. Yeah.
For the colleges and universities, the coaches, the recruiters. Highlight videos are big to display, your talent on the field. Uh, Externally known as Twitter, Instagram. There's Huddle. How again? How important has that been? Like, just in terms of being able to spread, said the word, to everyone. Uh, Again, how much of a difference maker you are. What your accomplishments and your accolades are.
Yeah. So I recently started my Twitter profile more this year. I
Okay.
created it, I believe, freshman year in December, but I never
Hmm.
really posted on it. I didn't use it or utilize it as well as I could have. But I
Hmm.
started this year thanks to Logan Oros again. He encouraged me to use Twitter and
Hmm.
to start posting, and I began using that as a platform to just show others, the work that I've put in, and
Yeah.
whether it's whether it's off the field, on the field, both academics, athletically, in the weight room, and to
Hmm.
just show them, that this isn't something I do when I feel like it. This is something I do every single day.
Yeah.
And being able to get my name out there has been awesome, and it opens up
Mhm.
opportunities for camps and game day invites, and
Yeah.
and just also putting together my highlights. and spending time on Huddle, putting my highlights together so I can post it on Twitter has also helped me to
Hmm.
realize what type of athlete that I am
Yeah.
and helped me to realize, what I need to work on, what my strengths are, and it improved me in the game, helping me realize, this play was really good, but this play wasn't, and helping me to
Hmm.
realize, I can't take a play off. I need to go 100% every single
Yeah.
play, and I need to give my all, and I need to use what I'm good at, not what someone else is good at, so that I can make plays on the field and win games with my teammates.
Yeah, just perfecting your craft and your, the blueprint. So
Exactly.
that, yeah, definitely. That's why. Hey, man, I know that with all the pressure you have, the demands, between
Yeah.
athletics and academics, you need to relax, have some peace of mind, some tranquility. I know that some of your hobbies are weightlifting, skateboarding, snowboarding, skiing, and fishing. I'm sure
Yeah.
that's where you're able to just be able to clear
Relax.
your mind and your head and just be able to enjoy those activities.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I usually do them with friends, and it's just a time to just listen to music, relax, just not necessarily forget about it all, but have some time to myself, and to just,
Hmm.
you know, have peace. And when you don't recover and you don't spend time getting your body right, when you're
Yeah.
not working out, you're not lifting, you're not on the field, you're not in school, when you have time to yourself, you're stretching, you're relaxing, you're listening to music, it's
Hmm.
nice to just have
Yeah.
some peace of mind, and to also have somewhere to fall back on, if I need some time to myself, and to do it especially with friends who also have similar goals to myself, just helps
Hmm.
me to encourage me and keep me focused, and
Yeah.
just, yeah. And also, when you do stuff like skateboarding, you do stuff like snowboarding, it
Hmm.
increases your athleticism, and it helps
That's
you
right.
acquire skills that you didn't have before, and fishing helps you with patience, and it's just the little details in those hobbies also carry over
Hmm.
onto to the field and onto Friday night.
Yeah. I mean, it just definitely provides that clarity
Hmm.
and, where you see, again, life from a different perspective. Hey, before you get the final word and message here, Ethan, which is well deserved, a lot of younger kids, athletes out there. You were once there, so
Yeah.
I'm sure you have some much needed advice and the message for them because obviously, I mean, we live in a different world today with social media, so much
Yep.
pressure, competition. Uh, athletes trying to figure out what sport am I good at? Can I move up this ladder? Can I end up where you are at this juncture? Uh,
Hmm.
so I'm just wondering, you see a lot of young kids, of course, at the football games, even
Yep.
with wrestling and lacrosse. So I'm just wondering, from your vantage, point, what would you say to them?
Yeah, first I want to thank you for having me with this interview. It's been an amazing time talking to you. And just for the younger kids, I would say play as many sports as you can. Don't
Hmm.
don't limit yourself to one or two sports when you're young. You will get burnt out, and maybe you find out I would have been better at this if I'd stuck with it.
Yeah.
Don't live with any regrets. Play every sport that you can. Be active. Get in the weight room when you're young. Don't wait until you're in high school to start lifting, and
Hmm.
and care about your grades when you're young. Start freshman year with with academics, but start even before then in middle school, getting good habits, and then freshman
Hmm.
year, let it carry over and just continue that. And just, don't give up. There's going to be rough patches. It's not easy. If it was easy, everyone would do it. And
Hmm.
just continue just working hard, and it's going to be worth it. Although, it's hard to look a few years down the line. It's going to be worth it, and it's worth the time and the effort, and it's
Yeah.
worth, you might miss out on like a birthday party or time with friends, but it's much more worth it and more worthwhile when you become older and you become a junior in high school like me, and even more so when you're in college and in the working world. And building
Yeah.
good habits and building discipline when you're young is so important for when it
Yeah.
carries over into life, even outside of sports, just into life. It's so important.
Yeah. You said it perfectly. I mean, on point, just developing that discipline, the positive habits and rituals, because again, that sets the bar, in terms
Yeah.
of starting out earlier, high school, on to college, and then the real world. I almost skipped over this when I wanted to ask you. I know behind you It said framed, it said pictures, jersey of Dick Buckus.
Yeah.
Obviously, someone that you Emily look up to. I know there's Ray Lewis as well. I wanted
Mhm.
to ask you just like again, seeing what they brought to the table on the field, and the fact that you try to implement maybe some of those characters, some of those values, or the way they played the game as well.
Yeah, so both Dick Butkus and Ray Lewis have just been role models in my life, like on the football side of things. The way that they're so physical and their commitment
Hmm.
to the game is just
Yeah.
it's exemplary, and it's amazing to watch. Even though
Hmm.
they're a little bit older, they don't play in the league now, obviously,
Yeah.
but it's amazing to see their stories and just see, the stuff that they went through. And I know Ray Lewis had a tough childhood, and how faith played such a role in his life, and how
Hmm.
he transformed it when he became older. And when he entered the league, he was
Oh shoot.
just he
Okay.
was a dog. He was seen it
Yeah.
too, and it's something that I want to do when I'm older, and I want to follow in their footsteps.
Yeah, well, it's again outstanding here. Ethan said you're going to get the final word and message here for family, friends, teammates, coaches, the Wheaton Academy High School varsity football team, the student body administration, athletic department, also at Wheaton Academy High School. Uh, I wanted to, give you, I said before, I'm sure there are a lot of people you want to thank here.
Yeah, well, first I want to thank you for this amazing opportunity and for letting me be on here. I want to thank my parents especially. I mean, none of this would have been possible without them. I
Hmm.
wouldn't be the man I am today. I wouldn't be where I am today, both athletically and academically. And then I want to thank my brothers for pushing me and being there for me. And, when they're similar ages, it's easy to relate to them and easy for them to relate to me. And it's nice to fall back on my family, both my parents and my brothers. And then I want to thank
Hmm.
my coaches just for the time and the time spent that they have spent with us, and the commitment that they have just exemplified to us, as I talked about earlier. And I can never thank them enough. And I want to thank them for spending time on and off the field with not just me, but many of my teammates. And it's truly a great example for fatherly figures for when I become a father, when I'm older. These are men that I'll still look up to when I'm older. And then thank um I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for just dying on the cross for my sins, and blessing me and my family just beyond measure. If we weren't blessed with the resources that we are today, then none of this would have been possible. If my mom and my dad didn't have the resources to give me, I know they would have wanted to, but it's truly a blessing.
Well said. Hey, Ethan, incredible honor and privilege being able to speak with you again
Thank you.
about your athletic academic career, volunteering, especially, with playing football, but as well as wrestling and lacrosse. And definitely have a bright future ahead. Wishing you all the best. You
Thank
still
you.
have another year left under your belt, so you're not
Yeah.
finished. And we're going to be hearing more great things about you. And again, wishing you continued success.
Thank you so much.